Hello everyone, it's Lee here with episode 14 of our Final Fantasy VII Beginner's Playthrough. I'd like to say first and foremost for this episode I need to start off with a bit of an apology. The reason being I had some recording issues, so I wasn't able to I've basically missed out about 20 to 30 minutes of playthrough because of this. I tried to find some backup saves and I couldn't, which was a nuisance. So I was scratching my head on what to do really. I didn't know if to just completely bin this playthrough altogether and possibly delete everything we've already done and start again, or just stop completely. But what I've decided to do is I want to continue this because we're getting on with it really, but I thought I would do a quick recap of what was missed and then how I've got to where I am, so I can show you a few bits and pieces of what I've done, and then finish off this episode with getting a few of the bits that we can get now before we go on to the next part of the story. So I'll do there'll be a bit of back and forth switching between saves just to give me a bit of time to save me a bit of time, during this episode. So we'll get into it. So where we left off last time, we was in here Mount Coral, and we had just got ourselves ready to go into Golden Saucer. So it's basically the story from being in the Golden Saucer that we sort of missed. There isn't anything major in terms of the plot twists or anything, but it's good to know. And as you can see from my character as well, apologies. I've done some grinding, so let's go into here, and then I mean, unfortunately you're not going to get the awesome cutscene of the Gold Saucer, which is something I wanted you to see, but I'm sure you can find that anyway. So you come straight through to the left to go up to the Gold Saucer, and then you just simply jump onto the cart here, and it'll take you up to that. It was really frustrating. One of my friends was doing a playthrough as well, and I was having a chat with him, but I tried to find bits and pieces and I just couldn't, which is just so frustrating. So when you come up here, this is the entrance to the Golden Saucer. There's a save point over there. I wouldn't recommend saving. I think it costs 2,000 gil a time. The first time you come up here, you'll need to speak to this woman. She hasn't got the dialogue anymore for us, but she'll offer you a pass to the Golden Saucer. So you can either pay £3,000 for a one-time entry, and then you can just do whatever here, and then you can come back later on, but then you'll need to pay another £3,000. Or you can buy a lifetime pass for 37 grand. For 30 grand. I obviously had the cash on me at the time because I've been doing some farming. If you follow the guide and you do farming yourself, you should have enough money. I would recommend buying the lifetime pass if you can, simply because later on in the game there is quite a lot of stuff to do here later on, and if you want to chase obviously the golden chocobo and other items, you are going to be spending quite a bit of time here. So I would go for that. Once you've got that, you just come in. The team do a bit of dialogue here. Barrett's a bit all out of sorts, and then basically you get a choice to either pick someone and go by yourself or go by yourself. I wouldn't speak to Ares or Tifa while you're here, simply because I think that gives you points towards whoever you pick first to come around the Gold Saucer with you. Just don't speak to anyone. That's what would be my recommendation. And then what you need to do is just go straight to on the square. Tifa will always automatically follow you anyway. And then you get here, and there'll be a new person that you'll see here, a big white dude. Basically, he's a new character. I'll show you him in a minute. His name's Kate Sif. You have a bit of dialogue with him, and then he basically says he's going to join you and he's going to come with you through the rest of the game, really, because he wants to. He's giving you what's it called? A fortune teller. He's like a fortune teller, and he's giving you a fortune. He doesn't like how it sounds, and he wants to follow you. So, yeah. So he joins you. He joins your party. You come straight to the battle square, and then there'll be a bit of dialogue here. The game basically takes over for you, and to cut a long story short, you get chucked into prison, and then you don't do all this. I'm just going back to see if I can show you where you get chucked into. So basically, a guy with a gun on his arm has been walking around killing people. You automatically presume it's Barrett, and then you get chucked into prison because of that. And then the story is basically that we miss out is Barrett is all out of sorts for some reason, and he knows the person who has been killing people, and who's got the gun on his arm. Oh, I can't take you there. I thought you could. So oh yeah, you can. There you go. I was going to say, I thought you could. This? Really? I can't remember. Anyway, you get taken to the bottom of the golden saucer, and there you have to try and find Barrett. There's a little hut which you need to go in. You go in there, Barrett appears, you speak to him, and then you have a bit of a story on what happened. Cut a long story short, there's a guy who has his mate Dine also has a gun on his arm, and he's the one that's been killing everyone, and basically he's gone a bit cuckoo, and he's basically down in the prison as well, and the aim is to go and find him. There's nothing really to do down there apart from doing that. You can gain some enemy skill in the area by where Dine is if you wanted to, and that is laser. And you can also gain Matra magic again. So what I done was, because there was another enemy skill, I went and got that on both of the characters there. Where's my enemy skill? There it is. So I've basically got it as well on this enemy skill. So you can do that. You basically have a one-on-one battle with Barrett and Dine. The level he was on, it was quite easy. But if you wanted to make the fight easy, what I'd recommend is just have poison on Barrett. Also, have all his best armor and weapons equipped, and then get into the fight. Cast Sleeper as well. What material is it? The seal materia. If you have that, and poison on Barrett, and maybe cure as well if you want that. What you do is you cast Sleep All. He's quite susceptible to sleep, so it puts Dine to sleep. Cast poison, and then as he's asleep, he'll still be taking his turns, and it will affect poison on him, and he'll just be coming down in health. And the simple thing for you to do is just attack him and use your limit breaks. He's only got 1200 health, so he's not really that strong. You beat him, you get taken back up to the golden saucer, just Cloud, and you need to do a chocobo race. The chocobo race is quite simple. You should win it. What I would do is that you get some instructions on what to do, on how to do the race. Just go through those instructions, and there is a bit of there's a bit of a tip that I would give you, and that would be take over the controls by pressing manual. So putting the controls from automatic to manual, and then point your direction straight, your analog stick to just straight on, and then if you press circle, your chocobo goes quicker. But while you're doing that, if you also have pressed L1, R1, L2 and R2, the stamina is like, for some reason it doesn't deplete as quick, so use that, do that until your stamina goes to about half, let it go, allow your chocobo just to build up a bit of stamina, and then just keep doing that, let it build up to half, just keep doing that. Whatever you do, just don't let the stamina go all the way to the bottom, and you should win the race. What I would do before the race happens, before you speak to anyone and start the race, is there is a summon materia in the corner of the chocobo changing rooms, I guess I call it, which you need to pick up. You can see it on the floor. It's quite obvious. You win the chocobo race, and then you get given this buggy, and then that's where the story allows you to take control of the game again. So there we go. Hopefully I've sort of explained that to you right. Sorry that I deleted the footage. Well, didn't delete the footage, I didn't record the footage, but this is where we are now. So from there you can do a few bits of pieces to gain some enemy skills, and this is a bit of the story where you can decide if you want to do some farming and just make your character a bit more stronger, and that's what I do, and I always do. So oh, and when you go to the golden saucer, it's always worth, I'll show you now in a minute, there's a turtle paradise, and we'll pick that up as well. So you need to do the farming method that I'm going to show you. You need to go back to Junon. Now if you want the bug back and to get the most important part for Ares' fourth limit break, you need the buggy. So how you take the buggy over Junon, because obviously you can't just drive it over water, you just drive straight into Costa del Sol. If you don't do that, you won't have the buggy when you get on the next side. You come to the shipping area, you speak to the guy, basically you pay 100 gil and he'll allow you on the boat, and he'll take you back across to Junon. I can't change it now, can I? And then what I'll do now is I'll swap saves, because my character's already in Junon, and I'll show you yeah, I'll show you what I do properly rather than with my limit breaks with the characters really high, just so you can see how I do it when I'm fighting or when I'm grinding in this area. What I've also done, as you can tell, I've got red 13 in the party now, and the reason for that is just because I like red 13 for one, and to cut along, like to not spoil the game too much, but you're not able to use Ares for a part of the game, so there's no point in keeping her really high, like keep leveling up. I might as well level up another character while I can. Yuffie's a pretty good character to use if you wanted to use her. She's got her weapon, she can obviously is long range, so that's good, and she's alright stats across the board, so you can use her. But I choose to use red 13 just again because I like him. So when you come out of the boat, you can come here. The inn here is only 30 gil. So that's why I use it, because there's a save point there and it's only 30 gil. And then what you do is you come running down here, through here. And remember this area I said that you can do a bit of farming? We can't get into any battles at the moment here, not because I've got the no battle thing on, but you just can't get into any battles. What you need to do, there's a little red box here, you click on that and it'll allow you to just set an alarm off, and you can basically just run around. And then some battles will happen. Now this enemy is not the enemy you want to fight. But as you can see, Beta does quite a lot of damage to the enemy. Now, like I said, this enemy is not really that strong. I mean, he's looking pretty strong, but he's not super strong. I mean, if you didn't care and you just wanted just to kill the enemies, you can do whatever you want. I was simply doing it this way because I wanted to get Red 13's limit breaks up. So, sorry, I went really quick there. That enemy basically gives you 900 XP, and the AP is around about 70, something like that. Really? And I have Cure on Barret because I don't want. What I do with Barret is I don't let him use magic during these fights. He just attacks and uses limit breaks. Cloud, I'll get him to attack using either Beta or Matra Magic. At the moment, because of Cloud's level, I'll just use Beta until he gets to about 32, and where Beta starts doing about 1600 damage, I'll just allow Cloud to just use Matra Magic, and then by that time Red 13's Beta should be doing around about 1500 damage, and it should clear up the enemies. So Matra Magic first of Cloud, and then Beta with Red 13, because there is another group of enemies you come across, and hopefully, here you go. So here's two of them. I don't attack straight away. So at the moment, Cloud's Beta is not doing that huge amount of damage, so I'll get him to use it. See, it's like around about 1500. Red 13 casts Beta, and it clears them up basically. The reason I use Beta with Red 13 and not like Matra Magic or anything else at the moment is because Red 13's not strong enough, and it won't clear him up. So we've got to wait another turn, and potentially we could take quite a bit of damage in that sequence, and I don't want that. So it's just all about finding a way of getting the enemies cleared up as quick as possible, especially when you're at this level. Now, as you can see, that's 1400 XP and 140 AP. So this place is a real good place to farm, especially if you want to get your limit breaks up, etc. And to just generally level up your character. And again, after every fight, I just cure up, and then you will find that it shouldn't be your health that you need to worry about. It'll mainly just be, as you can see, the MP. When the MP gets really low, it's in a yellow number, and I think Beta does 35 MP. So when Red 13 can simply not cast another Beta, or Cloud for that matter, it's normally Red 13 that you'll have an issue with. Just come here, heal up. I always save because you never know what happens. I gotta make sure now I don't do the save over my game, the level 41. Save up, and then you just simply go back and you just repeat the process. And you can do it to whatever level you want to, really. I mean, you can farm this for literally ages. I don't. I just get on. I did it just to get Red 13 to level 40. That's where I got to. Now, to get Ares, the piece of equipment for Ares limit break, you come this way. You come down the elevator. So you need the buggy, remember, for this. And then while I was doing this, while I was basically on this side of the map, I also decided, because I had a second enemy skill, to fight the Mythril again, and I would recommend fighting him again before you start doing that farming method. I forgot to mention that. Just so I've got beta again on the other enemy skill, and you just simply follow the same process as I did in episode 10, I think, or episode 9. Just keep doing it really until you get the beta. I then went back to the Chocobo farm, healed up there, and then by the tracks there I got Chocobo, and the easiest method to do that is go to Chocobo Bill, buy buy about 5 Mimlet greens off him. They're like 1500 gil, they're quite expensive, but if you buy 5 of them you've got plenty there. Get onto the Chocobo tracks and wait till you fall into a race with a Chocobo. Now the Chocobo either needs to be with 2 elephant looking enemies or 2 of the bird characters, and that's simply because the Chocobo's level is about a level 16, and then what you need to do is chuck the Mimlet green at the Chocobo and then cast level 4 suicide with one of the characters. So one of the characters that doesn't have enemy skill, just use the Mimlet green and then straight away cast level 4 suicide. What that will do is that will attack all the enemies, but it'll bring them down to like a third of that, like a percentage of their health, and it's enough percentage for the Chocobo to attack you with Chocobuncle, and it will give that character that attack that enemy skill. So that's how you do it. That's the easiest method. If you want to see me do that method, I don't know if you can get another enemy skill in the game, but if you do, or if I do, you leave a comment and I'll show you how to do that. That's fine. So remember, this is the forest we got Yuffie in. Now you've got the buggy, you can go across the water here. You go right, and then there's a cave here. Get out of your buggy and then you just simply go into the cave. There's a guy sleeping here. If you talk to him, he'll tell you how many battles you've done. At the time when I got there, I was in 405 battles. And what you need to do to get the Mythril, is it a key item or is it a... yeah, I know. Out there. To get the Mythril, what you need to do is you need to get into battles where the values are the same. So, i.e., the last two digits are the same. So that's 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, etc., etc. I got to, obviously because I was at 505, I only needed to do 6 more battles. I come out of here, I fought in 6 battles, I went back in, you speak to the guy, and he wakes up and he gives you the Mythril. I think if you get odd numbers, different numbers, yeah, I think if you get into, I think now, basically if you do it the other way, you get another item. It's not really massively important really, but you've got the most important thing from him. You basically, once you've done everything you can do, so like I said, I went in the cave, got flamethrower, I went straight in, got beta, got level 4 suicide and all that on the second enemy skill. Once you've done everything you can here, just drive straight into Junon, speak to the guy. It's only 10 gil, he'll allow you in the elevator. You basically drive up, you basically go back up in the elevator. So I do all this before you do the little farming tip that I've just shown you. There's also, so remember, I think it was episode 10, and I was trying to fight those enemies because I thought they had an enemy skill. They do, but they don't cast it. You need to manipulate them, and I'll show you how to manipulate enemies, and you can get them to cast that enemy skill. So the enemy skill that those characters, that enemy had, was, I just sort of remembered that. Oh, he doesn't have it. how does it? Is White Wind. So you can see when it comes through. So I got level 4, so White Wind. So White Wind's there just a heal, and it heals all the characters there. So it's pretty handy to have instead of using a cure in battle. But cure I just would use because it casts it on all the characters, so it's quite handy to have. But to be honest, I don't tend to use it that much. But so if you're going to do the farming, just save up and then start doing your farming. Once you're done with your farming, you just come up this way. You don't need to pay anyone to get in a boat, you just get into it. And it just takes you back over to Costa del Sol. So that's where we got to, guys. So hopefully I've explained that all enough and I've shown you what I've done to get where I am. I hope so anyway. Okay. So we're back here now, and you just simply walk out of Costa del Sol, and you've got the buggy again, same as that I showed you a minute ago. So let's quit that game. And then let's go back into the level 40 save. And then what I will do is just save it, so I've covered off both of the saves there. Yeah, I even tried to see if I could save it down here, and then try to back up my saves, but I just couldn't do it. So that's where we are really. Again, sorry guys, all I can do is apologise for that. So as you can see, I've got all my characters to level 40 or above. During the farming, because you get a lot of AP, a lot of stuff got leveled up. So I've now got Insuna, Ice 2, Life's Not There, Fire 3, all's gone up to 3 levels on him. Again, all 3, Restores, Cure 2, Fire 2, Cover's gone up to 3 stars, Chocobo Lure's gone up to 3 stars, Bolt's nearly leveled up, 3 again for that. And then again with Barrett, I've got regen on Barrett now. His elemental's gone up, he's also gone up to Quake 2 and Bio 2, and his all's at 3 as well. I also got Red 13 to where he is now. To get to the next level, I need to cast Stardust Ray, I think 7 times. I think that's what I need to do. So that will be the next thing that we look to do later on, is just get his limit break up. Again, I might just do that out of oh no, sorry, I need to kill a load of enemies, actually thinking about it, I think. But I'll most probably do that off screen, off recording. And the character that we got is Kate Sif, so here he is. He's an okay character. I don't tend to use him, but as you can see, everyone else has sort of steadily come up as well, just because all of these guys have leveled up. So there we go. So now we can go get some decent enemy skill now. So sorry. Best thing to do is just turn it off, the battle thing. So now we're where we are. I can turn it off. And we're looking for an enemy called a Harpy. Is this him? And this is him. And because I'm a noob, I don't have the enemy skill on me. Let me just escape this battle. doesn't do a lot of damage, but we'll get Cloud to manipulate. Take the steel off him. So you need to make sure you have the manipulate materia equipped. That's the first thing. Don't be a noob like me and not do that. So once you've manipulated the enemy, you have to wait for Cloud to get his turn bar back up. Then you just swap to Cloud, and you just cast Aqua Lung on all of us. So now we've learned that. What I'll do is I'll just get, oh, you might as well do that. So now you've learned. I should kill him. Yeah, beautiful. Now you've learned Aqua Lung on those characters with the enemy skill materia. If you're at a low level, you will find that might do quite a bit of damage to you at the time. Heal up, and I'll just show you that that's gone on the characters there. See, Aqua Lung on him. He's got red flame going, and Aqua Lung on him. So there we go, Aqua Lung. That's the first one. So it's a decent attack to have. The next is to go to a beach. What I'll do is I'm not going to battle here yet because I'm just going to turn the battle off because I want to show you this quick. Get out of the buggy, come to the beach by here, and just run along the beach until you get into a battle. Now this is a very good. We'll kill you. We don't want to fight you. This next enemy skill is a very good enemy skill to learn, and I would learn it. This is, if you're going to go and get any enemy skill now, I would get this one. We're looking for an enemy called Beach Plug. Here they are. And what I would do is just kill a load of them off. Just to make it easy for you. And just the same process as earlier. So unfortunately we missed there. You just got to keep trying. There we go. Big guard on all of us. And now red 13 and Barrett have learned big guard, and it basically casts an M barrier status effect on you, which reduces both the physical. So the M barrier casts basically a magic barrier on there, so it reduces the effect of magic damage, but it also decreases the physical damage you take, and it's like a triple threat because it gives you a haste ability as well. So just again to show you that we've learnt that. Big guard there, and big guard on Barrett. So there's there. I've shown you the white wind one, and oh no, I've told you about the white wind one. I won't show you it because it means I have to go all the way back over there, and I can't show you. I can't show you like getting white wind because I've already got it. So apologies for that, guys, but I can't do that. What I would do then is just save up, and there you go. So we've learnt those very good enemy skills, and that's it. Guys, thanks for joining me on this episode. Again, nothing really much has happened in terms of moving the game forward, but in this episode from where I am now, but I just wanted to explain everything to you that I've done previous from my last mishap. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you can forgive me, and I will see you in the next episode where we go and get another summon, and we go to an area called Gonga. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you. Bye.